Hi everyone, it's Vlatka for Cottage Cuts blog and thank you very much for joining me today. I'll be sharing this fun spring project and show you how to create this simple decor and also paper flower bouquet. So, let's start. For today's project I will use a wooden photo frame approximately 6 inches wide and 4 inches long, and of course Cottage Cuts dies. Here I have 3D flower number 3 die with which I will create such daisies. I also prepared some greenery which I cut out with white cardstock and color it with green distress inks, and I will show you later how to do it. First I will show you my way to put together this beautiful daisy, and for this I will use piece of fun foam and this tool with round tip. First I'm going to curl the petals, and I'm going to start with biggest layer of the flower. And after all these petals are curled, I will press my tool with round tip against the flower center, and this will cause the flower to raise all the petals. And I'm going to do the same with all these layers. Okay, when petals are prepared, I'm going to color the flower center, and for this I will use yellow Copic marker, but of course you can use any other color media to do this. You can also color it, for example, with distress inks, or you can also cut it out from yellow cardstock, and then you don't need to color it at all. Next step is to put daisy together. For this I will use glossy accent glue. This is my favorite glue, and I have it in this special plastic bottle with fine tip, and this allows me to use really small amount of glue and also prevent the tip to get clogged. Also here I will start with the biggest petal and glue slightly smaller one on the top of it. But as you can see, I moved petals of the top layer a little bit away from the petals of the bottom layer. I will continue the same process with another 2 layers, and at the end I will glue also the flower center on the top of it. And this will also finish our daisy. And later you will see that I already prepared more of them, and I will use 5 of them for the whole project. Time to move to the next step. I'm going to show you how I color the greenery. Actually, I will show you 2 ways. On the right side, I already took the die cut out of the paper, and on the left side, I leave it in the paper. For delicate die cuts as this greenery, where is a lot of swirls, it is better to leave it in the paper, because this prevents the die cut to tear up at coloring. And of course, I can also press much harder as when I'm coloring another piece. At this one I'm dabbing more as doing circles with my tool as at previous one, and I really need to be more careful here. After both pieces are colored with billet paint distress ink, I will go on with forest moss and distress all the edges. I will start with die cut on the right side, and then I will take also this die cut on the left side out of the paper and distress the edges. On the left side you can see that I already prepared more the greenery, because I'm not sure how much I will use it later, and if some remain I will use it on my future project. Greenery is always useful and I always have it in my stash. Now it's time to color the photo frame. I'm going to color it with white acrylic paint, and for this I'm using flat paintbrush, and because my paint is a little bit dry I will use also some water. If you want more translucent look, so that wood pattern will be seen through the color, use more mixture of color and water. But if you want more opaque look, then don't mix a lot of water with the color. At the end, I'm also dabbing the color so that I will have more of it on some places, and this will give a rougher look to the frame. Now you need to leave the paint to dry, or you can use a heat gun as I use it to speed the whole process. So I can do the next step already. And for this one I will use 2 brown shades of Distress ink, Gather Twigs and Brush Cordery. First I will use lighter one and roughly dab with Distress ink directly on the photo frame. And I'm going to repeat the same with darker shade of brown Distress ink. This will give old look to the frame, and this is actually what I'm looking for. I'm going to decorate the frame with some greenery and 2 daisies, but I'm going to skip this part in the video, otherwise it will be too long. But you will see I just put swirls and flourished on both corners and glue daisies on top of them. I also prepared additional piece of white cardstock and cut it out with this cross stitch red angle die, the second biggest one, and I already printed Hello Spring on this piece. Now I'm going to use some string and put both edges through the hole I made on the red angle, and then I'm going to drag both corners through the loop, and this will give me a nice loop at the top. Next step is to glue the string on the back side of the photo frame, and this I'm going to do with some tape adhesive and then cut off the rest of the string. But if you want, you can attach also other sides the same way I did it here with the top of the red angle, but I finish it here and my wall decor is finished, and I will go on with the bouquet. I'm going to use a wooden stick which will represent the flower stem, and I'm going to color it with forest moss Distress ink. As before, also here I'm using blending tool to color the stem, and I will do this all around, of course. I also have some leaves and I'm going to glue them on the stem, and for this I'm using glossy accent glue, but as you will see later, for the daisy I will use glue gun because I will need more stronger adhesive for that part. I need to be careful here and give some pressure that leaves will be really glue on my stem. So last step is to glue the daisy on the top of it. As I told you before, I'm using glue gun for this part, and I already made 2 additional flowers, and I use another greenery for this one. My finished bouquet contains 3 daisies, and it is addition to my wall decor, and this also finished my project for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have fun and see you soon. Bye!